There he is. There's the little guy. Looking good, Bubs. Looking good. Alright guys, so I'm sorry it's been a long time. I've been really busy at work and doing other things with the holidays. Finally gonna get to do a new video. So, it's been good for Bubs for Christmas. Because he's got a new home coming. Now this is the old home that I built. He's got 2 heating pads, one on the side there, one on the back, and sorry, 3, one underneath. He's got about 4.5 inches of the cocoa fiber, and underneath we've got Fluval 406 cleaning the water. Now it's a pretty good setup, except for it does have its downfalls. I like the looks of it. I built this myself, but as you can see, the opening is a little too small. That's what he looks like over top. Anyways, as you know, I like to pull Bubs out and hold him and put him in a feeder tank when I do my feedings. I find that when you do that, you can put your hand in his tank and he's not gonna, he'll give it a little growl, but he's not gonna go after you. Believe it or not, Bubs still does not croak. Now it's, he is a male, but he doesn't croak at all. That's the extent of the noise that he makes. So he's a really great frog, to be honest with you. Love him to death. So if you still don't have a pixie frog, get one. Alright, on to the problems with this tank. So as you can see, Bubs, he's a little bit bigger than he looks when he's buried. There he is, covering my whole hand. And when you try to squeeze him out of here, it gets a little difficult. It's uncomfortable for him, it's uncomfortable for me. And there you go. So let's get to building his new home. I'm going to show you piece by piece, and then we'll put it together, show you at the end. Alright everybody, so here's what we got. We've got the large natural terrarium by Ecoterra. It's 90-45 by 45, so yeah, 36 by 18 by 18. It's a great size for him. It's got a nice latch here to open the front doors. If I could take off the top. A nice screen for him to breathe. So I think this is going to be a much better home for him. They are a pretty penny, but I think they're worth it. And I'll show you why. Alright, so to start off, it's got these nifty holes in the back to hide all of your cords with a slider that covers them up. It's got a nice screen on top. Plastic cross braces are alright. But on top of that, it's got these nice little clips here, so if you have to get on top, you just spin these around. I'll show you where they all are. There's one there, one in the front. Having a little trouble doing this one-handed, but we'll get it. And 2 on this right side. And the last one is on the back. It also has the sliders on this side, as well as this side. So you can pick where you put your stuff. Alright, so just lift this off. And there you go. Easy access. Comes with the styrofoam backing. It's got a little gap, so you can feed the hoses back there. And if you don't want it, you can take it right out. Alright, so we put the top back on, and this is what we're going to light our aquarium with. Now I did pick up 2 of these. You can do 1 or 2. I decided to go with 2 to give it a try. It's got the 4 bulbs. So the goal here is to use 8 bulbs to create a hot zone and a cold zone, with also a night and a daytime cycle, the timer, instead of using the heat pads. So it also has a sliding rim to mount accessories. I like that feature. I think it looks really sharp. So there you go. That's what it will look like with one of them. I find it very aesthetically pleasing as well. So it also shows you the bulbs there. It is 36 by 3.5 by 7.8. And that's what the sliding rail looks like when we get those accessories as well. So there you go. That will be our lighting. Alright, so here's what it looks like with the lights on. Also kind of showed the layout that I'm hoping for. Now I haven't turned the hood lamps on, so I don't know which way they hook up yet, but Here's the bulbs that I'm using. I'm using this natural light ion. It supposedly reduces odor, and I'll show you the part that is supposed to do it. I forget why, but something to do with, I don't know, I'd like to say carbon, but I don't think that's it. Anyways, the other one is a night heat lamp, 25 watt, just to give the guy a little heat at night. So try to get it to zoom in on this, or at least show it, but it shows that how hot it gets per the depth of your tank. It doesn't really show well there, but you can look it up online on the EcoTerra website. So originally I thought this is how I was going to lay them out, just like the bulbs were on the top, but unfortunately those two, and those two were going to be daylight, those four were going to be night lights, but that's not how it's going to work out. So I also thought maybe that perhaps it's these two, these two, these two, and these two that come on, but that's also not how that works. Now I'm thinking all my nighttime heat lamps are going to be in the back, and all my daytime is going to be in the front. Simple. And to better show you what I mean, I'm going to flip it over here, put the bulbs in, and turn them on one switch at a time. So it's those outside two and those two inside that turn on with the one light, and same with this. Those are the inside, if you couldn't tell, and then the outside. And that's with all of them on. So there's the bulb there. That's supposed to be the part that makes it smell less. I don't know if you believe it or not. I'm not sure if I believe it or not, but I'll read to you what it says on their website. The EcoTerra Natural Light Ion creates a healthy environment for reptiles and amphibians in the terrarium while reducing odors drastically. The EcoTerra Natural Light Ion is a general light source with a built-in negative ion generator. Negative ions eliminate odors and help freshen and purify the air in the terrarium, mold spores, fungi, dust, and other harmful particles, and eliminates and neutralizes by clumping together. Negative ions also have been shown to be beneficial for the psychological well-being. High levels of negative ions are desirable, and they are naturally found in places along coastlines, in the mountains, in deserts, in forests, near rivers and waterfalls, and many other places with an abundance of reptiles and amphibians. So there you go. Alright, so believe all that or not, either way, this is what they look like. There's with the night lights on in the very back, and the two front lights, those are the ion ones, and then the normal. I just put normal lights in there. I think they're 9 watts. So what good is all that heat without a good thermometer? So this is the one I got. It's the EcoTerra thermometer. It slides in the spot right there. And the other thing I have is the Monsoon Multi. So it's been a really good Christmas for Bubs. He's really going to like this. So this is where those two holes from earlier are going to come in handy for the nozzles. So let's get it out of the box and I'll show you what it comes with. Alright, so I pulled it all out, laid it all out. We've got two nozzles. There they are there. Followed with the two clips. It's got a 2-into-1, which is really nice. I know you can join a bunch more. It goes straight in that blue thing. And then it's got this here, which goes right there. So pretty easy actually to hook it up. It also comes with some other knobs of some sort. I'm not quite sure. I've never used them. One thing I don't like about this thing is that. See how useless that is? Luckily for us, it does over time straighten out and you'll be okay. It'll get to the bottom. But yeah, super annoying to begin with. So again, this is really easy to install. You've got the hose there. You basically just stick it on like this, wherever you want. These are the spots I'm going to put them in. I absolutely love the amount of angles that you can get with this little joint there. It's incredible. Anyways, you just tuck this back and it'll go in the hole. So again, I just want to talk about the angles. This thing moves in every direction, just like that. So you can pretty much put it wherever you want. So here we go. I've got the hoses all set up where I want it to. Might want to turn down your volume a little bit. It gets a little squeaky with the styrofoam. But that's how I set it up. It is pretty tight back here. You might want to actually cut a hole right there and on the other side as well, right there. because it is a really tight fit. As you can see, I can't even move it. And after the video was made, I actually did some changes to it, but for now, I just tucked it in to show you guys. The other wire there is the thermometer. That thing right there, I'm going to slide it over. That's what it looks like. And I've just got it placed right there. Also, it was really tough to get in, just because that styrofoam is so tight. So you might want to cut something there as well. But there you go. So here's the top-down look. As you can see, there's the sliders. Just slide it closed. No bugs can get out. I like it. Looks nice and neat. Good fit and finish. Alright, so almost done. This is what it looks like. Doesn't it look beautiful? We've got the monsoon down here, and I'll show you how it works. I've already run the cords. It's all ready to go. So I'm going to use this water right here. Use distilled water. When you spend as much money on something like this, use distilled water because you don't want to get clogged up and ruined. Okay? If you don't, you're going to get a calcium buildup and it'll clog the machine and it'll be ruined. So use this. I used 2 of these. These are 4 liters each, and it fits both of them. Lasts a pretty good amount of time, maybe a week or 2. It really just depends on the settings. Where the blue is, that is super easy. You just lift that up and plug it in and it bites down and holds it tight. So again, this is the old way. It's a lot better. Okay, moving forward, we've got the rest of my Eco Earth that I've got. I'm gonna have to pick up a little more, but manages to fill the whole thing. It doesn't give them too much to bury in. I know these frogs like to bury. I didn't want to give him too much because he buried himself a lot, and I'd like to see him. So here is the monsoon. As you can see, it's got an on and off in a cycle. The 0 is the off, and the cycle is per hour, and then the last dial is how many seconds you want it on for. So here it is on the whole time. I normally leave it about 20 seconds every hour. That way he's always got a high humidity, keeps the ground wet but not too wet, but also it lasts. I also like it to dry over time. That way I can just turn it on and leave it on to get that moisture, or to soak that cocoa fiber when I want, instead of having something like this happen. So be careful with your settings. Make sure you hit cycle. I'm not entirely sure what I did here, but I left it overnight and it just stayed on and filled the tank up. So luckily I had to put a heater underneath, and it kind of helped dries it up. And then when I find it's too dry again, I just turn it on for a while. So I've added a few things. One of those things is this humidifier slash thermometer. I have one on the left and one on the right, so a hot side and a cold side. Alright everybody, so that's pretty much it. But last things last, I did pick him up a ZooMed Reptile Rock Corner water dish bowl. It is the extra large one. It is 13.8 by 13.2 by 3.2 high. Now pixie frogs apparently don't need a water bowl because they absorb the water through their skin, but I would like to have one in there. I think it's nice for him to jump in, cool himself off, and also it's better just in case you run out, right, of water or humidity. There has been times when I've been away and the monsoon has run out of water, so that's why I like to have it in there. Anyways, I'm sure that topic is up for widely debate, but I think we all can agree that this is much easier than what we had before. Now as time goes on, I'm going to play around with settings and things just to make this tank perfect for them. Now if anyone is wondering why I didn't set this tank up like the last one with half water and half land feature like I did in his old tank, it's honestly just because I have the 2 lights on top. If I didn't have the 2 lights and I only had 1 light with a heat dome, then I probably would have cut a hole in the screen, and then I would have been able to put a Fluval 406 through the top, but because I can't, there isn't any room with the hood lights with two of them on there. I decided not to. Took a couple days. I was actually thinking about putting the plexiglass in the middle and then trying to drill out the back of it, but because this tank was brand new and it's so expensive, I thought, you know what, let's just put it together like this, and maybe down the line, when it's not brand new, then I'll do something like that. But for now, I'm going to leave it as is, and I like it. So everybody, thanks for watching the video. I hope it was informative for you. I hope it gives you some ideas on what you want to do. Um, Also, I want to say a big shout out to the people that sent me messages about getting their own pixie frogs. Happy for you. Congratulations. I'm sure you are loving it. The monsters are growing super fast, eating everything in sight. And thank you for sending those messages. If you want to send me some videos of your frogs, and I'll put them on this channel, uh, let me know. I don't know if that's something you're interested in, but I think it's great as a community to you know, learn together. But, all right, guys, have a great night, and I'll see you on the next one.